a conifer hedge, and it's not so much big as there is just a lot of it. And as you can see, there's a lot of sheeting up to do as well on this one. More or less the whole of the inside I have to sheet up. I use two machines on this, the short one, and I had the other one out with the extension in, just so it saved me messing around, keep chopping and changing heads over and extensions in, they're already there. I find the one with extensions handy as well when you're reaching across sheets, so you ain't trampling on the plants underneath them as well. I was fortunate when I done this that especially this time of year, the hedge was dry. Because usually this time of year now it's covered in dew, and usually within the first hour you're soaking wet. But no, it was lovely and dry, so I can't moan about that one. What I did when I'd actually finished the hedge, out of curiosity, I had a 10-metre ruler, tape measure rather, in the van. So I took it and played it out completely and sort of dragged it along, marking the ground every 10 metres. And this hedge came in at 51 metres, which is 155 feet-ish. So it's more out of curiosity really, but yeah, it was a long hedge. I started this hedge at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'd finished about 4:15. If I say an hour for 2 or 3 cups of tea through the day, it worked out to about 7¼ hours of solid cutting, so I did sleep well that night. Right, this is the top of the bit I was just cutting. This is the tallest part of the hedge, and it grows like bugger up on the top here, but it only gets cut once a year, this hedge, and the top isn't very dense, so it just looks straggly on top. Even after you cut it, it never looks great, and that's after I've cut it, but there's nothing much I can do about that. And I actually cut it from on top of the hedge rather than off the ladder. At this point I suddenly remembered perhaps I should show you the full length of the hedge, and basically I have to sheet everything all the way through. I even sheet the grass because it's quite sandy soil. If you try to rake them up the bits, you just rip all the grass out as well. This is another part of the tall part of the hedge. I find it easier, certainly on conifers, to actually get on top of the hedge if they're firm enough, as this one is 6 foot across, and if you worked off the hedge, I find you're moving your ladder non-stop all day long, and the time you've done one side, then you have to ladder the other side, and again you're moving it all the time. So I find it a lot easier to actually get on top of the hedge, and you can do the whole of the top in one go. And you can also rake your cuttings whichever side you want them to go to as well. Obviously you can't do this on certain types of hedges, they just won't take your weight, and you couldn't do it on a privet hedge, you'd go straight through it. But it's surprising how firm these conifers actually are. I know some people aren't keen on actually getting off and working on top of the hedge, and that's fair enough. We all work differently. I mean, this works for me, but it's we all do the same job a different way, really. So whatever works best for you, you know, that's fine for me. But like I say, I just find this method the best way for me. One thing I would say is when you're on top of the hedge working your way along, try to remember where your ladder is. I often leave a piece of the hedge uncut right at the top of the ladder so I know where it is, or even a piece of rope or something, just or a bit of rag, just to see where it is. I just thought I'd put this little bit in. I'm now past where there's a hawthorn tree, and now in the back as such. I know some people, they sort of do all the top and then they go and do all the sides, or vice versa really, which I do sometimes, but because it's such a long hedge, this one, I tended to do perhaps 20 feet of the top and then come back on myself and do the side as well. It's much to give your arms a rest. You're in a different position sort of thing, and it can get a bit tiring sometimes when you're just constantly cutting the top for an hour plus, and just makes the day go a little bit quicker. Really. As I said, this hedge only gets cut once a year, and the inside isn't as overgrown as the top and the other side. So this is a year's growth, but in places it looks almost 2 years worth of growth. And I think it's because it's an arable field next door. I think they have wheat, I think it's sugar beet when I did this, and I think this hedge gets a good dose of nitrogen when the farmers fertilising the fields. So this hedge really does grow. You'll see a bit later. Some of the growth, like I say, it looks like 2 year growth, but it's this year's. And in places, I would imagine I cut maybe 2 foot off new growth off. This is nearly the inside done now. We're up to lunchtime. I think it must be about 1 o'clock by now. Like I say, it's quite slow going in here. Just this end and that bit sticking up at the back there. And this bit, I always get on top of the hedge. I put the pruning extension there because occasionally there's some bits so thick, instead of making the hedge cut struggle, I used a pruner. And it's actually, this part of the hedge is very, very firm. It's quite solid. This must be the 8th, 10th year I've cut this hedge, so I know it fairly well. You know, when you do cut hedges, especially regularly, you get so used to them, and you actually remember the different aspects of a particular hedge, even though sort of maybe do hundreds each year. As you can see, this is actually this year's growth. It's unbelievable. I always go on the theory, if you can reach it, you cull it. Even if you know you've got to move ladders around to another side or something, you never know if you're going to struggle from that side to cut something or to reach it. I'll just a quick shot there of how far I've got, and just to show really how firm this hedge is. It's pretty solid this end. But if you look down the hedge, in the distance, past the house, on the left hand side, you can see the green hawthorn. That's actually the start point of this hedge. So it's a fair old way. As you can see, it takes some cutting through in places. So what I did, I actually got on top of that bit where I was cutting, and I would not recommend this as standard practice. And as I said, I know this hedge. I knew that was firm enough to take the ladder there, but I didn't work off the ladder. I only used that to help me step up so I could sit on top of the next part of the hedge. I wouldn't recommend doing that though. It's actually quite surprising when you're on top of hedges, what a nice view you can get sometimes. This is the inside done now, so I thought I'd quickly show you that. And now we're on the outside, and actually you can see better from this way how long it is. And the only thing I didn't like about doing this outside was a rather lot of stinging nettles that seem to catch my legs, but that's life. Can't have it always, can you? You not very often get a job where you got a nice concrete path either side, and there's you can just cut and sweep up and go. There's always something, you know. So just done this bit just give you an idea of how much I'm actually cutting off the outside. And so further down the hedge, I think I was cutting probably near 2 feet of it off. This is also a very dense hedge as well. As you can see, it's very thick, and you can see here sort of cutting into the edge. It takes for getting through actually. The machine done well, because the outside I only used the one machine to save carrying them, as I have to walk out the drive probably 100 yards along the road to find the entrance to the field and walk all the way back round. So I didn't want to carry too much stuff, so I just put one machine in me. And there you go, look, it's finished. In total, I only used, I think, about 2.5 litres of fuel. I'll take you for a little walk down it, just to give you an idea. It's not the straightest hedge in the world, it never will be. It is what it is, really. Thank you for watching. I hope it was of interest, and hope you enjoyed. Thank you.